everybody. I'm Nicki Mayo for Black Women Unmuted, and I am joined by April Turner. She is the Vice President of Communications and External Affairs for Higher Heights for America PAC. Thank you, April, for giving some of your time today.
You.
Okay, so April, we have Black women showing up in a lot of different races nationwide. Can you tell me about some of the key races that we're going to be watching that
Sure.
involve sisters and also, maybe some issues?
Yes. While it's 2023 and we're not, doing large elections for the president and Congress, there are lots of elections around the country to take a look at, especially for the office of mayor. There are a few Black women running in really major cities. The first one being Cheryl Parker, who's running for mayor of Philadelphia. She's already won her primary, and in a few weeks, she is presumed to be the winner. Philadelphia is a very Democratic city, and she will be mayor of the sixth largest city in the country. We also have Sheila Jackson Lee in Houston, who's been a longtime member of Congress from there, and she is running for mayor of Houston, and that would be leading the nation's fourth largest city if she were to win. And we also have Vi Lyles, who's running for re-election in the city of Charlotte.
Are there any like non-mayoral races that we should keep an eye on?
Yes, there is a big race going on in Kentucky, the race for Attorney General. There is an African-American woman there running there named Pamela Stevenson, Colonel Pamela Stevenson, retired U.S. Air Force. And she's running to be, the top law enforcement officer in Kentucky, which we all have our eyes on, because if you remember, the current Attorney General, Daniel Cameron, who is running for governor of the state, he definitely ruffled a lot of feathers when he was over the Breonna Taylor case, and people did not like how he handled that. So as we can see, it's just so important to have Black women in these spaces, especially Black women that have compassion, that will lead how we want them to lead. So it's definitely a race that we're watching.
When it comes to like Black women in leadership, it seems like we can run for as many positions as possible. But once you start those statewide positions, Black women candidates seem to be hitting a wall. What is it that keeps the American general voting public from entrusting a Black woman with these positions?
That's a question we've asked ourselves a lot, Nikki. Thanks for asking it. And it's we still strive. We know there's barriers for Black women running for office, especially when you get to those larger offices like statewide offices. There are barriers to just our general networks and being able to raise money. There's barriers to how we're covered in the media. And, these are all the things that Higher Heights works to get candidates ready for and prepared for, because they have to, work even extra and more so than other candidates do. And of course, in 2022, we were really excited. There were so many Black women running for office. There was Stacey Abrams in Georgia, and Sherry Beasley in North Carolina, and Vi Lyles in Florida. And it was a little deflating, but we're not giving up. We're looking at 2024. We're still very excited about prospects such as Barbara Lee running for Senator of California, Lisa Blunt Rochester running for Senator of Delaware, Angela Alsobrooks running for Senator of Maryland. And we're looking for different outcomes, but there are definitely barriers when it comes to Black women running for those larger offices and having to, engage a statewide crowd and having all parts of that state really rally behind that Black woman to be able to see her in that seat. So we're still fighting for that.
Okay, and finally, looking forward to 2024, because it's always looming, the next presidential race. Is there any significance to those running today and how they will possibly impact what happens next year?
Absolutely. There was actually a great article today about Cheryl Parker and what's happening, in some of these cities. And we're seeing kind of almost the precursor to what we're going to see next year. They're running. She had great fundraising. She's very, very strong. And we're hoping to see that, in different districts and cities across the country going into 2024. We were able to work on a report this year with the Center for American Women in Politics that just discusses the landscape of Black women and running for these offices. And there have just been so many gains made in recent years. We think that momentum will continue. Looking at our report, just in the last 10 years, we've gone from one Black woman serving as mayor of a top 100 city, and now we have 8. 10 years ago, there were only 2 Black women serving in statewide office, and now there are 9. And so on and so on. There were 18 African-American women in Congress, and now there are 30. So we think we're only going up, and and we're going to continue to have that drumbeat that Black women are good for these offices. They are, when we're at decision making tables, we make better decisions for everybody, and we're just really, really excited about what 2024 is going to bring.
Thank you very much, Aprill Turner with Higher Heights for America PAC.